I know, by the time I make this video, it is well into the next year already. But come on, like I said in the title, the Secret Santa Jam is a disaster, and it took me so much time to make it. Now my game is already out on itch.io, but I cannot do the video until now. This is the link if you want to try out the game. Now for those who doesn't know what the Secret Santa Jam is, it is basically a game jam that takes place at Christmas, and every person who attends the jam will send each other a letter completely randomly, giving a topic of a game. And the person who received the letter will make the game and give it to the person who wrote the letter. It's kinda like giving a letter to Santa, and he gives you back a game according to the letter. Every person must write a letter, and every person will receive a letter. So last year I joined the jam in collaboration with my friend, and we decided to do the game jam. Okay, so this is the letter that we have received, and my friend and I decided we will have different tasks to do. I will make the music and arts, while my friend will make the core mechanic of the game. So basically, we want to make a sandbox RPG game, and each time you level up, the game opens more opportunities for you. Don't understand anything I just said? Basically, we want to make Minecraft. So I quickly do what I do best, creating music. Meanwhile, my game starts to create the word generating mechanics, which is quite good. Next, I continued my task by drawing characters and creating some animations. And that's basically it for me. But unfortunately, my friend cannot continue helping me on the project because he's busy studying for the final exam, which means that I have to finish the game completely alone as the exam ends after the submission day. Yeah, no, we have just been like a few days into the jam, and the first disaster already hit. Alright, I can still do this. So basically to this point he just made the word generator and that's it. I have to create most of the remaining. Firstly, I developed the word generator to also generate the ores. This is quite easy. Okay, this is not easy. And then I created the 3 basic enemies in my game. Those 3 enemies are the gingerbread man, the snowman, and the gift. Each enemy has a different attacking style and damage. When you're inside a range of the gingerbread man, he will start to approach you and attack, yeah, just like that. Next is a snowman. The snowman also attacks but on a much further range. But the attack of the snowman does less damage than the gingerbread man. Finally, the gift is the most special because it only attacks you when you attack it first. Basically, it will just chase you and explode, dealing a large number of damage. Now I make an enemy spawners to spawn everywhere. I'm pretty sure this wouldn't lag at all. Okay, so currently the map is way too small and it lags too much. I decided to make a junk loading mechanics. I also ended up creating something that is completely unnecessary for my game, which is the main menu and the post-processing. Nice. Finally, I decided to make armors for the character, and well, the second disaster hit me. That guy quitted, and my useless friend only found out this one day before the submission. Well, hopefully the new giftee has a similar idea. Well, what the Well, time to redesign the whole freaking game. Now unfortunately, because it is only one day before the jam ends, I couldn't finish the game in time. And of course I have to make a late submission. Also because I have no time at all, so I didn't even record the whole progress. Sorry about that. But still, I will provide some more information about my game, Christmas Rusher. So the first thing I do when I create a new game is talk to my friend. And we decided to make a soul-like game that is a really difficult game that uses both melee attacks, ranged attacks, and bombs. And I came up with this idea. My friend approved it, although he didn't even read the thing at all. Okay, so that's basically the overview of the core mechanics of my game. You could go on and try out the game right now. Now this is the last part of the video. I will show you the easiest way to defeat all of the bosses in my game in case you are stuck or have skill issues. So these are the exact way to counter each and every of the 7 bosses of my game. Firstly, we have the flying chariot. This boss comprises of 2 flying chariots that drop bombs like this. To defeat this boss, you need to remember one thing. You have to constantly run away from the gifts. That's basically it. Otherwise, this boss is quite easy. I advise you to use melee weapons so that you won't waste bullets or bombs before getting to the harder bosses. Just remember to switch to the sickle every time you got low in health to farm out some HP. Otherwise, you can use any of the two remaining. Next one is the incendiary candle. Now this one seems to have a quite irregular firing pattern when you first encounter it, but if you pay close attention, the closer you are to the boss, the faster it fires. That's why it's best to keep distant from it and use ranged weapon. I find that the backfire snipe gun works best here, because even though you got backfire a lot of health, you defeat this boss really quickly, after like just one run. The third boss is the detonator gift. This one will constantly shoot explosive gifts as well as smokes bombs to distract you. This is quite a difficult boss if you are careless and always want to defeat the boss as fast as possible. Just remember that flash bombs are really helpful here in clearing out the smokes. Otherwise, you should use melee weapons because using the melee weapon and the ranged weapon is just as difficult as each other. Use melee weapon to save bullets. Also remember the detonator gift will sometimes teleport, so that's why you have to get ready for it. The fourth boss of my game is the Christmas tree. This is the easiest boss to one-hit you if you are not careful because of the recursive bomb. Just remember to stay really far away from those bomb sites and you should be fine. Otherwise there is quite a neat trick to just defeat this boss using just flash and molotov. The fifth boss is the Communist Star. Now this is by far the most complex boss in my game because it has a lot of mechanics at the same time. Now we will divide this boss into three mechanics. Firstly is the attacks. This boss uses primarily lasers to attack you. Remember to pay attention to the yellow lasers because it is the indicator for the dangerous red lasers. Also keep distant from the gifts and avoid touching the boss. Next is the healing mechanics. This one is quite awful to be honest because you just need to wait some like 10 seconds in order for the boss to fully heal even though it has just like 1 HP. Now this is why I highly advise you to use fast attacking weapons and avoid using something like the sword or the snipe gun. I find it's best to use the machine gun right here. In fact, I've only managed to beat this one using machine guns and pistol shotgun. Now the third mechanics is when the boss turns yellow, which happens at 50% of its health, it will become invincible and you cannot attack it. You need to clear out these 4 snowmen before you can attack it again. My tip for you to defeat this boss is you need to use the machine gun to shoot it and then defeat those 4 snowmen and then reload and then continue shooting it. And then finally you can switch off to the pistol shotgun and finish it off. Next is the logarithmic note. This one would likely be a nightmare for those who are careless, because basically this boss has a lot of HP and you need to be really patient. So the thing is, if you use a sky and hitting this boss continuously and hitting those notes too, because when you hit it, it does no damage. You will heal constantly and the boss will constantly take damage. But still, you can die if you are moving too fast through the notes, especially when the boss just teleported. You can use the Molotov cocktail to avoid stepping to the notes. Also, this boss has HP and damage in the logarithmic scale, meaning the less HP it has, the less damage you does to it, and the less HP you have, the more damage it will does to you. So be careful on that, or else when you have like 50% of HP you might get one shot. The last one is the Jawbreaker Cane. Now the Jawbreaker Cane, you can easily defeat it using the Molotov cocktail, or if you don't have any, you can use the long sword. Just avoid touching it. It also moves really fast, so you need to really carefully predict its pattern. Now lastly, every boss of my game could be easily defeated using grenades. But this resource is very limited, so basically only use it if you either get to the last boss or you just nearly die. Lastly is the escape sequence. I have some tips for you. You should save up the flash bomb so that you can use in this area to clear out the smokes and open your view. Nextly, avoid looking at those targets as it could be the flashbang and it could flash you. And when you got flashed, avoid continue walking to get another flashbang right after. You would never get a flashbang if you stand still, so don't worry. Lastly, if you see an electromagnetic bomb which explodes when you come near, you just need to shoot it or throw a grenade at it or a Molotov cocktail. But I highly advise against this as the smoke could just extinguish it. So that's basically it for my time in the Christmas Jam. It's actually a lot of fun even though it is a disaster. You could check out my game here on itch.io and play it yourself. Enjoy the game.